Yo, dude, Stacey Abrams is going to jail. You guys remember the whole Stacey Abrams $2 billion slush fund situation, right? You know, the same Stacey Abrams that went from a net worth of $109,000 in 2018 to $3.17 million in 2022.
So this is $2 billion of that $20 billion that was parked at this bank outside of government towards the end of the Biden administration. Power Forward Communities, which Stacey Abrams is part of, only received $100 in 2023. They then got $2 billion in this grant in 2024. Now, I was just reading over the grant agreement, Laura. On the first page, it gives the organization, this nonprofit, 21 days to distribute $2 billion. But this is the crazy part. I went to page 7 of the grant agreement, and it's giving the entity 90 days to complete a training called
a military takeover.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
To complete a training called How to Develop a Budget.
You know what else is interesting? When Democrat Stacey Abrams first ran for governor in 2018, her lackluster personal finances and a hefty bill from the IRS gave Republicans fodder to question how she could manage a state budget when she struggled with her own debts.
Now, I would say that if an organization needs to take a training on how to develop a budget, they definitely shouldn't be getting $2 billion.
Y'all won't believe what I just found. She had an entirely different nonprofit called the New Georgia Project that was recently fined Georgia's largest election violations fine of $300,000. It's just a slap on the wrist for not reporting that in 2020 for her gubernatorial race, they gave her $7 million, $4 million in campaign contributions, and more than $3 million in expenditures backing Abrams. In 2018, not 2020. Oh my jeez. This lady has got skeletons in her closet, man. Look at her sweating trying to defend herself.
My understanding is the program at the source of this whole thing is a program to lower costs for people. Do I have that top line correct?
You have it absolutely right.
Okay, so I'm gonna play what he had to say, and then I'm gonna ask you to explain what the program is that was such an obvious, ludicrous laugh line for the Republicans there. Take a listen.
$1.9 billion to recently created decarbonization of homes committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Okay, so what is this organization? What is your relation to it, and what does it do?
In 2023 and 2024, I led a program called Vitalizing DeSoto. We worked in a tiny town in South Georgia to demonstrate that by replacing energy inefficient appliances with efficient appliances, you can lower your costs. And in fact, we accomplished that. For 75% of the community, they got appliances that are lowering their bills right now. We had one woman who saw her electric bill cut in half from $180 to $98. That's what we delivered. And based on that program, a coalition of organizations, famous organizations, came together and said to the EPA, if we can do this here, we can do this for millions more Americans. Let us invest the money of America in lowering the cost for Americans. And the EPA said, okay, great, go for it.
So let me get this straight. Stacey Abrams and a bunch of her corporate partners ran a pilot program in a town in Georgia and then went to the government and said, if you pay us $2 billion, we can start saving people costs marginally on their electricity bill. And she thinks somehow that explanation makes it sound like it's not a scam. If you think Stacey Abrams and the government crooks like her deserve what they have coming to them, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share this video with someone you know, man, because we're breaking down the whole thing today. And these judges holding up the DOJ cuts, protecting the system of corruption.
A federal judge has temporarily stopped Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency team from accessing certain Social Security data.
Tonight, a federal judge says the dismantling of the U.S. Agency for International Development likely violated the Constitution. The ruling now blocks Musk's DOJ from further cuts to the agency. The temporary injunction would be in place while the case is heard. And the federal judge also ordered the Trump administration to restore email and computer access to all employees of USAID, including those who were placed on administrative leave.
All right, breaking news. A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to reinstate probationary workers let go in mass firings across multiple agencies.
I mean, DOJ is just ruining the government, man. 300,000 credit cards deactivated, not age cutoff limits to small business loans. What if someone over 120 years old needs a small business loan? You mean to tell me this 9-month-old baby may have never received the $100,000 loan that 18 years from now they're gonna use to cure cancer? Great job, guys. Hey, by the way, cancer says thanks. In all seriousness, finally, the DOJ is coming through to put some meat behind DOJ's rhetoric, man.
Is doing such a fantastic job. I thought maybe you could say a few words.
Thank you, President. As far as we are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse, a lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your team. You have uncovered so much fraud in our government, and we will prosecute you. We have an internal task force now working with every agency sitting here at this table. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. Thank you, Elon, for that. On the violent crime level, thanks to President Trump's directive, we are seeking the death penalty again. So all of these horrible, violent criminals that you're hearing about around the country, they will face the death penalty federally within our country. And the drug dealers need to get out of here because we are coming after you. We're going to have 94 great U.S. attorneys around this country, and everyone will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Thank you.
Thank you, President. It's at your directive.
Is doing such a fantastic job. I thought maybe you could say a few words.
I love that. Finally. You know, Congress can ignore DOJ all they want, but you heard that?
We are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse. A lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud, and we will prosecute you.
The judges can stall Trump's executive orders. They can demand that previously let go employees be allowed to look at their emails again. What is any of that gonna matter when these corrupt fools are looking down the barrel of some serious criminal charges under an actual DOJ and a for real FBI? You know, Stacey Abrams can walk around looking smug all day, but what is any of that going to do for her from inside a jail cell?
She's quite something, right? She loses in Georgia, and then she goes on to be she's really an aggregator of, fraud and corruption. In the fact, if this is how you view government, it's just a place where you can reward your friends and fund your pet projects and call them green, and then everyone feels good about it.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me, guys. I appreciate you. If you made it to the end, let me know. Who else do you think we're going to see strung up on fraud charges? Honestly, I'm fully expecting charges for Stacey Abrams. She is like the poster child of government fraud right now. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share the video and all that. Peace out, guys. Have a great one.